Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday, the 24th of October. So looking at the Eurodollar first, and well, at the moment it's quite range bound, but on the dailies, as I've been saying on the weekly update, etc., looking at the shorter time frames coming down to the 4 hours, we do have a weekly pivot above us, which yet may be a draw. In fact, I'll come down to the hourly, it's even easier still. There was some divergence yesterday on the hourlies there, a double divergence eventually, but there's certainly the divergence there again on the hourlies there, which pushed up towards the hourly 50. Now we've seen a bit of a retrace at the moment. We've already had the daily pivot hit just below us. What I was looking at here, if we do see a move back above that 50, we've got the weekly pivot above. I'd be looking for possibly a ride up to that sort of level, maybe a little bit further. Now there is risk in within the euro. I wouldn't be trading it too early this morning. There is the French and German manufacturing services PMI out at 8 and 8:30 respectively. It may be worth waiting for that unless there's a good technical setup before them, which gets us into a move, but there is that risk. Of course, then at 9 o'clock we've got the European as a whole flash manufacturing services data out, which has a lot less effect generally than the French and German numbers. Now, there also is the risk later in the week we've got with the ECB meeting, so the euro, I'm erring on the bearish side again, but maybe early week. We've seen it time and time again. It has its bounce in the earlier part of the week, or just after the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It seems to move a little bit, and off it then runs Thursday the wrong way. So see if the Tuesday pushes it up today. But as I say, I'm wary of the meeting later in the week. So that's the euro. The dollar yen. Dollar yen had gapped, but it's now filled that gap. It's looking reasonably likely that it could push up from here again, back to its 4 hourly 21. Looking okay at the moment. It's just got to see if it can see through this daily pivot. It's just a reaction to how it reacts. If it can get reaction to how it reacts is a term indeed, but its reaction to this daily pivot here, if it can push on up through it, well, the chances are it could continue to the upside in that trend that it built with the high lows, high highs. Anything we've got against that upward movement, I guess, is that weekly pivot still sits below us. Any breakdown and push down and break of the lows that have already been put in may be a draw towards that weekly pivot. In the main, though, it's still got the potential pushing on back towards yesterday's highs and maybe beyond. Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar choking along here really. Another small not inside day, but very small day yesterday. I remain erring on the bearish side on the Aussie dollar. Looking at the 4 hourlies here, well, it has got the 4 hourly chart, but looking at the weekly pivot above it, still sits there. It was sort of air kissed. Failing to get back towards it at the moment, and it may be, as I said, just really more bearish than anything else. Just running through these other time frames of 4 hourly, 60 minutes, it still looks to me like, well, it's got some further potential to the downside. Not quite into yesterday's lows yet, but really I'd be watching this more on a trend to the downside. And finally, the Canadian dollar. Let's get a daily picture in. Daily, okay, so it came within spitting distances, just a fraction away from that. Well, it's the weekly 21. Actually, it's actually hit the weekly 21, so slightly done that, just within a spitting distance of that 100 moving average above us. Maybe if it can break the 21, break this 100 moving average here, it continues to be bullish on it. I think, although there's only a 20% chance of an interest rate increase tomorrow, so I think at the moment there's possibly more upside to be had. We have got a weekly pivot that sits below us there at 25.67, which I would like to see them out the way, but the way this is moving at the moment is mainly come from Friday's movement. But if we can carry on pushing as we are, chances are, well, we could run it easy, run into yesterday's highs. It's not far from it, but continue in this upward path. That's pretty much it for today. As I mentioned, the figures to watch out for this morning, the French and German manufacturing data. Aside of that, that's it. Have a great day. Bye for now.